Hi, David here from Making Stuff Easy. I want to turn this messy cupboard top into an organised area for my tools. So let's see how we can get on with this, shall we? So I live in this rented house, so I can't hang anything on the walls. I've only got a single garage and it's quite a mess, as you can see. So I want to make best use of the space I've got. And here's a good example of a nice area. So let's start off with getting rid of all this junk on top, because any horizontal surface attracts junk. And let's see how we can use this. Let's start with measurements. Good size at the moment, and so we'll crack on. So you can see I'm actually going with a reasonable size. I've got some new tools I want to store in here. Lots to do electric tools, but also some woodworking tools. And here's a high level diagram, and you can pause there if you need to. So here are the main pieces, one big sheet of 12mm ply into these pieces. This is the back piece, just sitting on a table. And here I'm actually cutting the side pieces, and you'll see there's actually wider at the bottom than at the top. Then I'm using the one side to make the other side up as a template. And here are the pieces. Okay, so I'm using a router here to make a rabbit, going about 8 times speed here. And the idea is actually to give it a little bit more integrity, and there's a small groove for the actual middle shelves. So you can see it's a nice tight fit in there for 12mm ply, even though it's a 12.7mm bit. So I'm doing 2 of those grooves here. Now I'm cutting some battens. These are actually going to be the supports for the shelves internally, and just using some 1-inch screws. So let's put the 2 sides together. Cut the battens to the right size and just mark them off. Of course, I'm avoiding the rabbits I made, and just guidelines for the drilling of the holes to go through. And then a good glue, and just keeping those battens on nice and secure. And there's one side and the other side. So just trying to make sure everything's square inside and just building out the main frame, and here it is. Now we've got cut 2 small shelves to go in top and bottom, and they're pretty sturdy. And this is how I'm going to lay things out inside the unit, roughly speaking. This is the area we're going to be making next, the middle section. In particular, we'll start off with the left hand side where we're going to hang our drills. So here's a piece of 300 by 300. You may change the size depending on your requirements. I've identified the cutouts, some round ends for them. Okay, and we'll be cutting these out in a moment. There they are. And we use that as a template to actually cut out 12mm ply. I'm getting a hole saw the same size as the diameter of the curve. And there it is, 3 holes ready. So just drawing those lines and cutting out the sections. And there we have the shelf. Bit of sandpaper around a dowel to actually make it nice and neat and take off some of the rough edges. And now we can hang up to 3 drills in here. I only have 2, but it gives me room to expand. And then using a router here just to give a bit of shape to those so the drills fit a bit better. So there's the middle section that we're going to be making in a moment. Fundamentally it's going to be 3 shelves here. The first one on the left is actually for the batteries, and just fairly simple with a back piece. Second one is for the router bits, and again it's a bit simpler, a bit smaller with a back piece. And this one is actually going to be angled, and it's going to have the charger for the batteries in there. And you'll see I've actually allowed some space for the cable to run out the back. And we'll see how we run that cable out of the unit in a minute. So there are the 3 shelves together, all sitting upside down, and that's the diagram on the side of the middle shelf. And I've created 3 of these, and you can see that 2 of them got the holes for the power plug to go through. And the shelves are going to sit a bit like this. So there you can see it's actually put together. This is a dry fit, and you'll see that the cable's running through those 2 holes into the right hand side. So let's have a little bit of a look at that detail of the middle shelf. Here's the right hand side. You'll see there's the squares in the middle section, and I've got some dowels running across the top to hold my smaller squares. The shelves here are held up on battens which are screwed and glued in, and on the left hand side here we have the drill hanger, and you'll actually see that it's got plenty of space underneath it and room for a 3rd drill. So you can see I'm making quite efficient use of the space available. Of course, make this to your own dimensions to suit your own space, and of course you can finish it with polyurethane or some other finish to suit your requirements. I'm leaving mine bare like this one because it's just in the garage. As I say, I can't hang it on the wall, and here's what I can fit into it. So there's the finished product. I hope this inspires you to actually tidy up one of your shelves and make use of that space. Enjoy. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy what you see here.